Coach, I heard you talking to the players a little bit ago, and which I thought was really profound in a lot of ways about 9/11 and how important that is. I don't know they've ever heard a coach talk about that to players. Talk a little bit about going over that subject just here tonight.
Well, I told them, our flag is flying at half staff for an important reason. I said, how many of you know why? And we asked them about 9/11. Some of them had an idea what it was, and I tried to share with them that some of them were not even born. Some of them were 1 year old. Some of them were 2 years old, but a lot of them weren't even born. And I said, if you were around an old guy like me at that time, you know exactly where you were when it happened. And I shared kind of where I was teaching, what I was doing, and kind of the principal coming to us and talking to us. And I told him the importance of thanking the military. If you see a guy or a lady in a military uniform, you need to go up and thank them for their service. So that was something that we talked about. I think they need to understand historically what we've been through and why it's important to honor those kind of people.
And it's something I think that you've kind of brought to this football program is that it's more than just football, it's also life.
It is. I hope, if nothing else, they're getting that. I hope, we all love to win. We all love to compete, and we want to win as many games as we can, but we also want to learn how to be good young men. Please, thank you, and learn about our past, and so hopefully we won't repeat it. And, we've got a lot of good people that help these kids, whether it's our teachers and our administrators and counselors and stuff, so they need to be thankful for the people that go out of their way for them.
And there are a lot of people that do that. I don't know if the public quite understands that sometimes, just how much support there is around here for these young men.
There are, and as we shared with them, some of our kids in the background are here running right now because of their grades. And as I told them, we have people, not just myself, checking on their grades. We have other people that are actually emailing and saying, Coach, do you know so-and-so isn't doing well? Do you know so-and-so isn't doing well? And so we have a lot of people concerned about our players and what's best, and we want what's best for them. So, we're going to try and stress the importance of our grades, and student comes before athlete.
Yeah, 'cause football's not going to last forever, is it?
It will not, and they need to understand the importance of a good work ethic and attitude, and how that can get you a long way.
I just want to let you know I appreciate that. I thought it was really just all of that. But I got one other thing I want to ask you, and that is when you're running the sprints here a little bit ago, you implemented something into that as well. It wasn't just, all right, get on the line, let's run. Talk about what you do there.
Well, with our sprints, we talk about our goals. We repeat our goals. We have 15 goals. We have 5 offensive goals, 5 defensive goals, and 5 special teams goals. So they're learning the goals as they're sprinting. They're yelling them out right as they take off, and hopefully by mid-year, we're about mid-year. Some of them know most of them. There's still some that don't know all of them, so we're trying to emphasize that. Repetition, repetition, repetition. As a matter of fact, Mrs. Wolpe was talking about that today in terms of how we work with our kids and how sometimes you have to go back over what you're trying to teach and to get kids to understand.
Well, and that's also, that goes right into football, too, out there when the lights are on, doesn't it?
It does. A great football team has gone through hundreds and thousands of repetitions of the same play and the same concept and the technique and the alignment and stuff. So, if we're learning as we're running, I think that's better than just running.
Coach, talk about last week. It was a nasty night for football. It got worse as the night went along, and you guys made a great effort there and made it very close once they jumped out in front. Overall, how would you evaluate that game?
Well, first and foremost, it was frustrating because we kind of put ourselves in a hole with two costly turnovers. But the biggest thing that I took away, and I think hopefully our kids took away from the game, was we didn't give up. Our kids battled to the end. We put ourselves in a position to possibly get the ball back at the end of the game there. It didn't end up happening. We score, and we're down 6 points at that point with a little over 4 minutes to go, 4.5 minutes with 3 timeouts. Kick it deep. We've got them pinned at 3rd and long. The kid makes a big play, and then, they run out the clock after our timeouts. But we put ourselves in a position where we had a chance to win. But going back to the start of the game, we've got to do a better job of take care of the football, and that's one of our goals. That's the 3rd goal, offensive goal, is take care of the football, and probably should be the top goal. But our kids are getting better. I thought we played better Defensively, I thought our defense played pretty well the entire game. We forced some turnovers. The ball was on the ground quite a bit for them. We had opportunities to even get a few more turnovers. But kids played hard, and that's something that we can definitely take away from it.
I'm sure Coach has something too that you like about this football team is they just don't quit, and that's something I noticed even from the beginning of the year. They're not going to just go into the fourth quarter and say it's over.
Yes, and that's something that hopefully we're instilling in them during our fourth quarter drills out here when we're conditioning, whether we're running our sprints or whether we're doing angle pursuit in fourth quarter, whatever we're doing, we're trying to instill the fact that we're not going to give up. We're going to give a great effort at all times and let the chips fall where they may. We realize we're not going to win every game, but we want to be expecting to win the game when we step on the field. That's not going to change till the final horn. So we'll see how it goes.
Coach, from an offensive standpoint, and he's struggling a little bit just trying to get that passing attack going, and when the passing attack doesn't get going, they load things up in the box, and that's kind of what Muncie Central did the other night as well. Talk about addressing that this week as you get ready for a very good Marion team.
Well, Marion is a talented team, very athletic, well coached. I think for us, our personnel dictates some of the things that we have to do. We're going to play with tight ends. We'd love to spread out and play with a bunch of wide receivers, but we're really thin there where we have some tight ends that we feel like can help us run the football. We're addressing the passing game as best we can in terms of trying to getting some different things with some motion this week, heading into the game with Marion, and we've made some personnel changes. So we're just trying to get better at the entirety of our offense, and that's obviously going to be the passing game specifically. But again, when Wyatt gets blocking up front, he can make people miss, and we're gonna kind of I guess you could say go with the girl that we brung to the dance here, and he's the one that's brought us to the dance, and he runs hard. Our offensive line enjoys blocking for him, and we'll throw the ball a little bit off of that, but we can't get too far away from it.
Are you anticipating that teams are going to continue to do that as far as loading things up in the box as many as they have?
I'm sure they will, but with what we're doing, we can still block everybody and have a read on the backside. And our biggest thing is if we're reading the backside end, we've got something that can come off of that with throwing the football, and that's kind of what we're implementing more of this week. We feel like we're going to get a little more athletic. We're going to get some guys in different spots that we can hopefully get them the ball as well.
Well, Marion, as you go back a couple of years ago, well, maybe more than a couple, they were not very good. Now all of a sudden they've kind of had a revitalization of their football program. I think the coaches poll has them ranked 9th this week, 4-0. They do a lot of things well.
They do. They've got an athletic quarterback that throws the ball well. They've got a really good tailback that if he makes you miss, he's gone. Defensively, they're physical. They've got some really good linebackers. They run well on defense. So it's a team that is a total team on all three sides of the ball. So we've got to come prepared and play a really good game.
Well, it's certainly nothing you haven't seen with athleticism so far. You've seen a lot of athletic teams already. We
have. Obviously, with our Lawrence North game, we've seen some guys that can run and everything, so that's going to prepare us for Friday night's game. And, I think our kids are excited about it. I think the biggest thing for us is we need to get off the bus ready to play. So we can't come out flat. The last time we took a long trip to Tech, we came out flat. So we need to come out ready to play.
And you look at this as not only is it a great challenge, but a great opportunity.
It's a great opportunity for us to go up there, a team that just became ranked, go up there, see what we can do against them, put ourselves in a chance to be successful, and hopefully first and foremost have great pride in what the guy next to us and what's across our chest, Richmond High School.